Oh, okay. Apparently the phone's gonna be this way. Fuck. Well, I guess that's new and exciting. I can damn near see myself, which is surprising. There's no lights on in here. Fucking iPhones are crazy. The music on this thing. The music. When I'm just like on a YouTube video and like the little preview music plays and it's like some weird crazy soundtrack. I'm just sitting there. Dude, am I high or does that just sound brilliant? Yeah. Well, all in all, I've been pretty satisfied with anything not made by Google on my little iPhone here. The video quality's been pretty good lately, eh? How's it going, Mr. Conway? I had a feeling somebody was awake and bored, so I figure I might as well come on here before I go to bed and try to be entertaining. I've been trying to organizificate my actual corporate structure here. We're going to turn Easy Reefers into a non-profit organization. And we're going to be running a brother-sister hybrid arrangement with Acadian Mariculture. And then Acadian Mariculture is going to establish Easy Reefers retail store as a subsidiary. And then that's going to donate 10% of its revenue back to Easy Reefers Coastal Restoration. Or the other option, and I've been researching this all night, so the jargon is just in my fucking head. The other option is to make the Easy Reefers Coastal Restoration, and I know I'm on the Lost Begotten channel, fuckity fuck. The Easy Reefers Coastal Restoration Club, if I made that a foundation, apparently. What you can't do, and I just found this out now that I've finished writing a business plan. Yes, by the way, finished. Oh yeah, it's finished. My dad has volunteered to edit. He just met a new redhead lady. Oh yeah, my dad's in fucking like 70 something years old and like living it up in Florida, man. Living it up in Florida. Tell you what though, my dad is not your typical old man. My dad is probably in better shape than either one of us. He doesn't have the fighting skill that I have, although he did study martial arts. He led a relatively sheltered life compared to me. But the man, well, he can bench press me. That's for sure. And you just fucking like nothing. He usually hits about 240 on the presses with like for 20 minutes straight, you know, like he's a fucking diesel truck, my dad. It's funny, kind of like as he gets older, he's getting a little shorter. So he's still got all the muscle, but he's like shorter than me now. He used to be like almost my exact height. He was 6'1". Now he's like the same height as my wife. Five 5'11". But anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm even talking about. Yeah. My dad's gonna be helping finalize all of the the pages and the table of contents and whatnot, making sure it's all together, because I only have what do you call it, fucking WordPad or Notepad, or yeah, WordPad. And eventually this will open. Now, see, I'm really not sure about the corporate structure here. I found out, I got reminded about foundations from this. I've been doing like online research while watching YouTube documentaries. So I'm like reading and listening, and whichever is the more interesting, that's what I pay attention to the most. Input. Johnny Five is live. Okay. So after I finished doing this here, I got reminded about what a foundation can do, because a foundation can be obviously founded by the profitable entity. So I could have Easy Reefers, and it makes more sense with the nomenclature. You know, like the way these are named, Easy Reefers sounds like a foundation of Easy Reefers, because they both have Easy Reefers in the fucking name, don't they? Whereas Easy Reefers in Acadian mariculture, but then maybe I could set up Acadian mariculture as the subsidiary. I don't fucking know. So I either need to continue doing research until I'm blue in the face, or I'm going to have to talk to somebody smarter than me. Just like I did when I started clownfish breeding. I called up Rod from Rod's Food, and I said, I'm trying to breed Percula clownfish, and I need to talk to somebody smarter than me. And his wife, who answered the phone, laughed her ass off at me and like actually put him on the phone. So I got advice from Rod on how to set up this whole breeding arrangement before I got started. Anyways, so the whole business plan done? Yes, the whole business plan is done. Every fucking little detail reread and retyped. Oh yes, every little fucking detail has been reread, retyped, optimized for presentation, making sure I get all the information that any investor would want to see. The entire marketing strategy. Management, my resume, Kira's resume, basically, our history together, that kind of thing. Present assets, all the crap that I have right now, about almost $5,000 worth of shit. Scheduling, equipment, all the damn systems for the entire store. And there's a map of all the systems for the entire store. Retail inventory, all the retail inventory. And the last thing on the list is aquariums. So if they're reading aquariums, they're going to be wondering, what the fuck are you going to put the aquariums on? Well, you're going to put them on the Acadian Mariculture Custom Double Decker and Trident stands. Check that out. How many ways can you copy and stretch and edit the same fucking picture without having to redraw it? Apparently that many times. And we have the retail livestock section, and we have operational expenses and liabilities, which is just like fucking numbers that required weeks and weeks of crunching just to get right. We have exterior maintenance, which includes parking lot and landscaping. We have one Paragon 7 Series Model 7EA elevated aquaculture facility. And yes, I've designed so many of these fucking buildings that I have a designation system all figured out for them. And that is how to build a Paragon 7EA with all the necessary equipment for what we're gonna do, including giant fucking water storage and mixing things. And there is a zoomed in layout of what that facility will look like and the skylights. And here we have the house in the back, which is going to be a Paragon Model 4BR-4, which means it is the 4 actually stands for 4 times 8. It's going to be 32 feet wide, or 4 sections of building wide. B series implies that it is not the Apex series, which is the windproof series. This is a simple building with actual vertical walls. R designates that it is a raised building, and -4 means it is raised 4 feet. And that building will be constructed for a total of $23,498. The Paragon 7AE total construction, including labor, is $79,560. It is a big fucking building. And actually, I have basically included the labor in one lump sum up there. This is the materials price for this. The materials price for the Paragon, including electrical and air conditioning units and toilets and all that good stuff, $51,485 plus tax brings it to $58,000. And yeah, I forgot to add tax on that side, but fucking sue me. So basically, the investment package is as follow. The actual physical investment on building and equipment is $143,000.58. The prospective location that we're looking at buying is $60,000. The total loan requirement is $163,000. That is plus a $40,000 rolling line of credit to be used initially to purchase equipment that is technically listed in the physical equipment and purchases inventory, but it's basically a staged rollout that allows for less capital overall, and for the investor to earn equity on top of interest. So this is a simple 9% loan to start on year 3 and be paid by year 10 at 9% interest, gaining the loaner a net of $14,000 in interest. And in addition to that, the $40,000 rolling line of credit to be used from years 0 through 7, but likely to be paid off at year 5, and that's detailed down here as to exactly where the payout goes, how much income we're taking in at that point. We're going to be, by the end of year 3, only using probably about $23,000 worth of that. Going to roll it over into inventory, make it back, and then try to buy it out on year 4 or 5. And then after that whole complicated financial plan, I have an explanation of the property investment from a purely real estate standpoint. That is to say, the total investment of $203,000, that is 163 plus the $43,000, would actually work out at the rate of 40% equity to a return of $67,000 after it's paid off. Of course, if they were to, if I was to go out of business, they were to sue me, they would get the total. But basically, even just as a stagnant investment, their equity of 40 grand, and if I don't manage to buy it out, would get them $67,200. So that would be a 17% profit if I just complete the building. And that's based on local market comps and the specialty and quality of the building, the fact that it's basically an energy efficiency powerhouse, that kind of thing. So anyways, I thought that was worth including, not only to prove that they're very unlikely to lose money, but to show then after that, from year 7 on, they're looking at a 27% yield on their investment. Year 8, 36%. Year 10, they will have accomplished a 57% yield on their investment. So it's more lucrative than simply developing a property, is what that's supposed to prove. Now, depending on what financial structure we wind up settling on, it's going to be there's going to be a very good chance that we're going to qualify for research grants and other different types of grants, educational, production, environmental, those kind of grants, and even USDA grants, considering that I'm going to wind up my second facility. The first expansion facility that I'm going to build is going to be food fish related. We're going to be doing red snapper in there, and probably some flounder too. But so may qualify for up to $200,000 a year in state grants, and be in competition for up to $2 million a year in federal grants. Miscellaneous revenue that hasn't even been accounted for, that I don't know how to account for. So basically all those numbers that we have that prove this business to be successful are baseline numbers, and this is all revenue that will be added on top of that. And then of course I have the full capitalization amount of $1.420 million, which essentially buys me out of Paragon in exchange for funding Easy Reefers building. So that leaves me at 10% silent partnership in the modular, scalable, disaster-proof buildings for somebody who actually wants to take that somewhere and be a controlling investor in it. And yeah. But really, I think the most interesting place for most investors is going to be this part right here, where you see by department sales projections, sales goals, and we have the entire gross. $18-year total, the 8-year gross, the 8-year net, the year 8 net, and the 18-year net. 18-year net for the retail store alone. That's not including wholesale business-to-business sales. The 18-year net should be at least $1.898 million. So, revenue after everything's paid for, revenue to be split up by shareholders is going to be upwards of around $100,000 a year. And that, of course, is immediately backed up by demographic-based industry analysis and all that other stuff that we talked about before. I don't even know why I'm going over all this shit. Sean, tell me what you want to talk about, dude. Because, like, I need to shut the fuck up and be, you know, non-business brained for fucking 5 minutes, maybe. I want this to be real now. But are you proud of me? I actually fucking finished. How long has it been? How long have I been fucking working on this thing? Oh my god. Ha. But those are the options. NPO, as the parent organization, or as a foundation of Easy Reefers. But that kind of understates the educational aspect. See what I want to do with Easy Reefers in the retail store is teach people about the ocean and the environment, and that the products that we're selling are a means to enable them to teach more about the ocean and the environment, and to basically ultimately get people to set up in their homes places where they can grow first mangroves and then eventually corals that are going to be rounded up and put back in the fucking ocean. Now, as far as coastal restoration goes, if we could find more tolerant skeleton building corals, you know, that's another type of shore break before the waves actually reach the shore. I mean, the whole reason why waves break is usually because of the reefs. So where you can think of like a mangrove as a reef that you build that's just on shore, you need to build a mangrove reef under the water. Well, it's an actual reef that's going to keep those waves from slamming into the mangroves where you can. Now, the difference between mangroves and why they're so much more beneficial than just trying to restore the reefs themselves is because not only do mangroves allow reefs to grow, but mangroves can grow in the places where reefs can't grow and can expand those areas where reefs can grow. So you need to start with the mangroves to begin with. It's not as though it's a interest-based or economic-based priority. You got to do the mangroves first, or else there's not going to be many places that you can put coral that it won't just die. But anyway, And speaking of floods and stuff, I was trying to read my notes here. There's this big spiel about Christianity, but oh wait, no, I just saw at the bottom it says McAllen, Texas. I want to talk about McAllen, Texas. Y'all know I used to live in McAllen. I used to live in Edinburgh and work in McAllen. It's funny how all that shit's going down there now, right? The RGV, baby, the Valley, fucking Rio Grande. So, see if I can just read this. I don't know if Christianity is the same religion as the one that I remember from my past lives, from my old ancient feeling self. But I do know that Christianity is an echo or a remnant of the religion that I used to know. Because I can tell just through introspection that the moral fabric, the feeling of freedom and the validity of rights that this country is founded on, that comes from those people. And of course my battery's gonna get low. Now, the thing is, I don't remember for sure that the religion, if you want to call it that, if the pure spiritual perspective that people had back then carried on in any way to the country that we have now. But I remember being there before this country was founded, and I remember the fabric that kind of ingrained in society, that the people here came here for common cause and found unity in that. And we still never, despite everything that's happened, we haven't lost it. And now to the point about McAllen, Texas, we saw proof of that, if you caught it, with those two people that were the first two people to show up day after my last video. Two people. An old man with a beard and a young, I think, Native American woman, I think about probably my age, with dyed red hair. And they didn't need no Facebook group to tell them to go protest. They weren't part of any organization. They just found out there's a fucking, right here in McAllen, there's just a little baby prison. And they went and those two people became fucking friends, you know. My wife and I were just sitting here wishing we had the fucking money. Because I drive right to McAllen without looking at a map, man. I know my way there, okay? I go right through Houston, take the fucking exit. I got it in my head right now, okay? 59 down to 57. I'm fucking cruising through Edinburgh. Gonna take a right, pass a couple stop signs, take a left. I'm in McAllen, okay? I don't know the name of those fucking roads, but you can't miss them. They're just two fucking roads. after like 3 hours of desert. Um, but anyway. That was written down, so I'll make sure I mentioned it. I written down something the other day. I written down a few things in the past few days. Let's see if any of them are worth a crap. Who? There's a bunch of people's fucking names. It doesn't take a liberal to despise Trump. It just takes a decent human being. Or perhaps what's that word again? An American. That was what I wrote down when I just fucking had enough of this Samantha Bee bullshit coming. Liberals want to impeach Trump. Oh, it's just liberals, huh? It's just liberals? 42% of the country is just liberals? Really? I call bullshit on that. See, the poll numbers came out, and they didn't quite know how to make sense of them because they want to just usually talk about the usual fucking partisan divide. But it was 7% of Republicans support impeaching Trump. 77% or something like that. Not even 80% of Democrats. 76%. And the average, the national number, 42%. But the tail of the tape is with the independents, actually. See, the independents, 38% want to impeach Trump. Okay? 38% is 4 points behind the national number. Okay? Which means that this is not a partisan thing. I mean, the fact that you still have 7% of fucking Republicans is not as though there's like, it's not as though there's like 2% of Republicans. No, it's fucking 7%. Okay, it's almost 10%. 7 is almost 10 when it comes to talking about your own fucking party. Because consider this. How many people who call themselves Republicans, as much as they fucking hate Trump, would want a pollster to know it? So what do you think that number really is? Half? Oh yeah, I'd say it was half. I don't know why. Because 80% of Republicans are the type of people who would bullshit you to keep themselves from looking bad. See, a Democrat is the person that doesn't want any cheaters in their group. A Republican, well, they were the kid who just wanted to get kicked out of that fucking school so they could go to a private school anyways. And then you have the blessed brainwashed. Oh, the poor little honor students. Oh, I know there's still a lot of them, and they think that Republicans are doing good, but it's called being used. You're being used for your faith. And it's a damn shame. And, well, it's a very convincing reality that these illusionists have painted before you, especially when considering that the actual group that coordinates it all should be known by you, but is so undefined that their connection between the threads that deceive you is completely undetected. The thread that connects Bill Maher to Fox News. They're Satanists. Now, I'm not talking people that go to some dark church with a lot of candles and there's some guy on a black and red cape with horns. I'm talking real members of the actual cult of the ancient ruler of this physical world. Okay? I'm not talking about some guy who set up a church. I'm talking about the devil. Okay, and the reason why you can't connect this as an actual conspiracy in your head, the reason why you can't see that this is actually happening all around you, is because you can't connect in your head the fact that the devil might actually be real and in control of these people who have every single one of them, made videos saying that they serve Satan. They've confessed it, they've professed it, they've thrown it in your face. But you just assume, because of your disconnect on the fabric of reality itself, that it's all somehow a joke, that it's all somehow a farce, that these people are all just atheists and they don't believe in anything actually spiritual. It's not that they don't believe in anything spiritual. It's just that they don't like it. They can't stand the idea of God, because God makes them accountable. And God reminds them, the idea of God, just the very concept of God, reminds them of their selfish failures. Now, they all wear crutches on their sleeves and even convince themselves that they hate God because he allows suffering. But that is just a pitiful excuse for a thought, one that only distracts from the concept of free will and your responsibility in making the universe that you live in a better place. Now you see, they don't want this to be a better place. They know that the less everyone else has, the more that they have. The less everyone else knows, the more they feel like they know. Morning, Joey. And well, it's one thing to be ignorant of hypocrisy. It's one thing to be ignorant of what actual faith is and should be. But you can tell a Satanist by someone because there's someone who seems intellectually capable of distinguishing a straw man argument or a hypocrite. And yet everything they do proceeds as if they were ignorant of these concepts. And they continue to promote religious persecution. They continue to promote the idea that, well, Christians are Republicans and Republicans are Christians. And those two things can't be separated. Just like they continue to promote the concept that liberals are atheists and atheists are liberals, and you can't have compassion for other people unless you think people evolved from monkeys. Just like you can't be a smart person unless you think people evolved from monkeys. These are all bullshit concepts that the unifying thread behind is Satanism. Okay? And again, not some little goofy church. I'm talking about agents of the horde, the demonic horde. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying that, like, Onision knows that Satan is real. Okay? I'm saying Onision is controlled by Satan. He doesn't have to know. Okay? They're not going to a little dark church. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's a fucking joke to them. Just because they don't know that they are controlled 100% by demons doesn't mean that when they say, I worship Satan, they're joking. They're speaking more truth than they even realize. You understand? Does that make sense, guys? No, I'm not ruling it out that, some of them actually do. Like you gotta wonder if people like fucking Alex Jones could actually be as fucking evil and crazy as they are without actually, like, doing weird rituals and shit. But most of them, no. They're a step beyond brainwashed into complicity. They realize the bad that they're doing and they continue to do it. They realize the hypocrisy and the straw man arguments and they choose to ignore them. But how many of them are actually self-aware enough to realize what they're doing on a conscious level? No. They're just addicted to the high of being shitty and evil. They're addicted to the financial success that comes so easily with it. And those like Robin Williams, like George Michael, all these different celebrities who have been formerly involved with either liberal or conservative strings of communist-backed political agendas in this country, like the corruption of youth in this country in the early 90s, like the connection between compassion and godlessness when Robin Williams visited Coco the gorilla. Did Robin Williams and Coco the gorilla ever pop up on your screens recently? It popped up on my screen recently. I thought that was completely random. Oh, good job. I told him to set that alarm for 8 o'clock. I ain't fucking turning it off. Turn off your alarm! Turn off your alarm. If it ain't one thing, huh? Thank you. So anyways, back to McAllen, Texas. Anybody notice the big flood? Fucking just tropical storm just kind of formed right off the coast and slammed into them about 24 hours after I made that video. Good times, good times. First there was the 2 people. The next day. Then the next day, the whole fucking area flooded. Then the day after that, all kinds of fucking people showed up, and then Trump reversed his shit. Is that how it happened? I think that's about right. But I just wanted to make sure in case nobody noticed. If you wondered whether or not my little angry spiel had an effect. Well, a bunch of fucking hurricanes, and then well, they're not separating the families anymore. Melania doesn't care and wants to know if we do. But at least they're not separating the families. Still, they're not separating more of the fucking families. But anyways, I don't know. I know my fucking phone is getting difficult to hold. So I'm gonna hide y'all down there for a second. Anybody except for those who have donated recently, please donate. And if you could focus your donations toward the end of the month, that's usually more helpful, I guess. It's this period where we're waiting until the 3rd for my disability to come. That's usually the toughest part of the whole damn month. Kira did actually send in a job application. To a dog kennel. I don't want her going to work in a fucking dog kennel. Jeez. But for now, as shitty and as uncomfortable as I am with it, we're completely reliant on the money that you guys send us. That's fucking bullshit. But it's the way it is. But I'm going to spend the weekend trying to decide, like, basically what kind of investment package to offer the first person I meet with. I'm going to try to go ahead and get a meeting with him Monday. It's a guy that does commercial investment, and he's also a banker, so he's the first tree I'm going to bark up. If I can get this deal bought, I'll be in good shape. If I get this deal bought, I will definitely, depending on, actually no, I'm pretty sure either way that I'm gonna have to take any political videos down off of Easy Reefers so that it can be a nonprofit organization. But you know, the fact that I fucking warned everybody and told the truth exactly how it fucking was, and just nobody was allowed to even fucking listen. I mean, there's this effort to fucking pretend like they're correcting fake news now, but they have no interest in actually getting things debunked while they were spreading. No interest in letting people hearing responses other than partisan fucking you're stupid, no you're stupid shit. And now it's just like, you know, I waited 2 years to see if it would get recognized. Hey, you know, all this shit going on, there's just one fucking person on YouTube who called it all. Yeah, nobody ever fucking, like, all those videos, all those really great videos that just told things exactly how they were, not a fucking other view. Not a couple of them got viewed and a couple of them didn't. Not a couple of them even got a couple fucking views. None of them got viewed at all. And the few fucking views that they might have gotten in the past couple of years, it's probably just a couple of you guys going back through old videos. Ain't no new viewers going through those videos. No matter how many different times breaking news has come up proving that the claims on those videos were true. And now it just pisses me off. It just pisses me off that they're even there. Almost as much as it pisses me off how broke I am after doing all this shit just to save my fucking country. You know, I could have got on here and just been a fucking shill and just been here to make money. But I thought, no. Clearly these people are all being bullshitted. And if they just had someone to decrypt the bullshit for them, they would appreciate it. They would have. If my views got recommended status when it was needed. I've got a good archive on disc of those older videos that I can put on this channel eventually. And I'll have time to be doing that now that the business plan is done. But I'll probably have to spend some kind of... I'll probably have to find some better way of making money to spend my fucking time than sitting here making videos on the Easy Reefers channel expecting revenue. It's about to go below $10. It's been hovered at the low $10 a month mark. Down to 350 views in 48 hours. So I'm getting less than 200 views a day. And what's really pissing me off is that when I make a video that might go viral, that a bunch of people immediately view on the channel, they'll demonetize it until people are done fucking viewing it. Yeah, they'll demonetize it for the first couple days, and then it'll go monetized. The fucking video about the kitten, the fucking video about my teeth. Really? The video about licorice root? Demonetized. Huh. But anyways. I guess I'm done. I'm getting fucking tired. I need to get some sleep before I get hungry again. We bought food. I've been eating almost 2 meals a day. Yeah, I added a second meal, kind of. Two eating sessions a day, thanks to the money that Max and Conway sent. But oh, and the neighbor bought us cigarettes, which I'm smoking all of because I'm streaming, so I need to fucking stop the stream so I don't smoke all of our cigarettes. But anyways, I hope people who haven't donated in a while see these videos. I'm hoping it's not a long period of time where I'm, fucking begging for money, but I'm struggling to see a light at the end of this tunnel, other than this business plan that I'm working on. But consider your donations both to support my ongoing commentary on this channel, as well as all the principles of the new Easy Reefers Foundation, or club. Because I'm at the point where I need to buy salt mix and shit, like do water changes. And I'd like to have enough money to cover day-to-day expenses and do that, and not be sitting here trying to make the choice between them. But I gotta keep this shit alive until the business gets funded. And y'all gotta keep me alive But for now, I'm going to sleep. So, hope y'all have a good weekend. I'm going to hopefully be setting up a sort of a comprehensive GoFundMe style, and I might even actually make a GoFundMe for Easy Reefers, and make like a GoFundMe presentation for preliminary investments. But for now, the same Lost Begotten at Gmail to PayPal is the only way to make donations presently. We're going to be, I think my wife is in the process of making an Easy Reefers GoFundMe page. I suppose we're supposed to do, since like everyone on YouTube is doing Patreon, so I guess we're going to make a Patreon page too. I don't fucking know. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, y'all. Don't forget to click the like button, whoever hasn't clicked it yet. And I'll see y'all some more. Thanks for watching. Peace.